there. He's been hiding some, stuffing some heals in it while Mercy wasn't looking.
So we've seen a fair few variations of this, similar to the Icon Wall, the A defense. You can play the major 5 heroes and then swap your DPS. In this case, Crazy for either Farah or a Hanzo. This time going to be the Junkrat more popular on this Temple of Anubis A defense. Merit already going to be copying a nice headshot to the face from Perfect. And of course, that also means you have Hojin Ho on the bench for this map 3.
Yep, so one change coming through there, and the perfect start for Monster Shield. Korea just gives them so much time to set up. It allows Crazy to possibly get a little bit of damage through. Seems though Perfect's the one doing that so far. Looking at the ultimate charge, Beppo.
That's a hook.
It's a nice hook, and there's not going to be enough defense matrix there to save him. Luckily, the Mega Health Pack will do the deal.
Just enough damage to demec Ash VK as well. So the Paradigm currently, its offense is looking pretty decent. They managed to get a couple of important kills, and we really look to see if Crazy can be the one to pull something out, or better yet, maybe Beppo on that Roadhog can be the one to save this point, but he's under so much pressure from Merit on the opposite side of the map. And now it's kind of difficulty of Monster Shield's defenses. If Perfect, the Widowmaker, is down, who challenges Merit? Merit is unopposed.
Exactly. Merit coming through there, and that's a pretty quick cap from New Paradigm. They're going to have the infra site. They know exactly how to attack Monster Shield Korea as they set up with a couple of changes here. Perfect now onto the Brigitte. Crazy will have the Riptire though, and that's going to be so important. Maybe it can shut down Iron when he brings out the Dragon Blade.
He's going to need to use it soon because that Riptire is, oh wow, it is gone. I was going to say Iron is so close to being on his face. Clears the Riptire, clears Crazy as well. Now Merit with the doors wide open is going to go in and collect his bounty. Double kill, double headshot, finds the third as well. New Paradigm are doing so well, the Monster Shield are in so much trouble.
There's only a few of them on the point, but because Merit has put down so much damage on this Widowmaker, they still get 2 ticks, 90%, almost taking out the fight. From here, it's going to be very, very tough, though. A Transcendence is committed. Velvet wants to take this even further, and Iron's going to help him out with a quick kill onto the Zenyatta here. So many Monster Shield Korea players coming back in. They've got the stall, they've got the Mei there, using the Cryo Freeze and the wall. Won't be enough to keep her, but I think the team's done the job overall.
Paradigm still trying to hold on to this, do get a number of kills coming in from Monster Shield Korea right now, holding on as tight as they can. Substitution player Luke coming in for a Nev, has that Primal Rage available as well, and this should actually be enough to force New Paradigm out. After New Paradigm did lose Froppy, they're losing their healers, losing too many members, and the respawners from Monster Shield just overwhelming that attack.
Why use that last self-destruct though? The fight was definitely over by that point. You definitely didn't want another mech. You wanted to get the hell out of there. And Tito, he could have had that to use going in here. It could have forced Monster Shield off the point and got them that last tick. Remember, they only need one. A self-destruct is a great way to get that single tick.
Paradigm right now, a little bit out of gas, but they do now have a Dragon Blade available. We'll have to go up against Beppo's Transcendence. Most importantly, we'll see if Beppo can resist the Blade coming through. Trans has been popped, Lee J gone down for the count, which means Beppo wasn't quite where he needed to be. Luke still does have a Primal, though you'd expect him to use it at some point because Frost already frozen up in his own Primal Rage, trying to lock some members of Monster Shield back into their base. One support rather, and one Mei. The Blizzard actually available as well, which could do some major damage, supported now by a Dragon Blade coming out from Crazy. And while the members are being frozen and slowed up, Crazy happily collects their heads. New Paradigm rather should be now looking to reset.
Perfect. Just putting a little bit of frost out there onto the New Paradigm player, and he certainly isn't happy to get slowed down. It does just make it out in the end, and Monster Shield Korea will reset because they've got such a reasonably divey composition apart from this Mei, which Perfect has stayed on for quite some time now, even throwing out the Blizzard ones already, and he's just happy to try and lock them off or piece them apart as they come onto the point.
Crazy got torn to pieces there, stayed a little bit too long, gets resurrected back into play. But New Paradigm are already all over that defense as well, looking to overwhelm him as he came out of that respawn, already just caught it, and Iron's going to do his best to try and find him. Frost going down early to Perfect, and the wall going to be splitting off this offense best he can. It's actually done enough of the work. He's done so much now that Crazy gets himself a Dragon Blade. That should signal the defense victory. It should also signal a new paradigm to once again be reset.
Just like a general sort of leading the army there. He whipped out the sword and said, "Follow me!" And then, you know, didn't really do a whole lot with it, but it was a marshalling point there for Monster Shield Korea as they do get one more successful hold. And with 90% new paradigm, let's repeat it again, they need one more tick. A couple of ultimates will do that for them. They've almost got that Inspire, and along with the others, if they can get these 5 up and use them at once, perhaps deny Monster Shield Korea the Transcendence at the very least. This could be a way for them to get that last tick.
There's a lot of ultimates available.
Oh, good
Shield.
way.
Early wall is just going to block things out. Doesn't quite split off any members though, so what you'd like to have seen is Monster Shield bait someone in to get a free kill, and now Iron is going to strike first. HVK strikes back. Double kill on both sides. Blizzard being forced out. Trance being forced out as well. Luke's dead, but he does have a primal when he comes back. With the amount of kills that Monster Shield have, certainly New Paradigm are probably not going to have the amount of members to continue this push. They're going to try anyway. If they can collect some more, and 2 will do it. 2 might do it. Crazy with the blade. Crazy's had about a blade every single defense by now, surely. Luke, oh, it doesn't get the primal. Come on, dude. That was unfortunate.
Yeah, well, there's still a couple of members on the point, but you've got to remember, with only 1 tick, it's not like the spawners can come in forever. They only need to find a small window where New Paradigm are the sole occupiers of this point B on Temple of Anubis. Meris going in with the shield bash. They're trying to get those people off the point, stun them while they are not contesting it, but it seems like Monster Shield Korea are firmly planted on this just for the moment. The Inspire comes out. This is going to make New Paradigm so hard to dislodge now.
Right, well, Merritt says, rally to me, fellas. New Paradigm now, full 6 members ready to go. Velvet and Frost ultimates ready in the wing as well. Lee Jae Gong going to swap onto his signature Lucio. Crazy with another blade. Charging up like crazy fast, but he doesn't get a crazy amount of kills. In fact, gets no kills. Luke now going down as well as member AshVK. This time it's Ein's turn, and Ein does so much more. 1 kill is already more than what Crazy has been getting in these past couple of fights. And with that, 1:01 remaining on top of the clock. New Paradigm eventually get themselves in, and it did seem inevitable because there was a case where you did feel the New Paradigm offense was getting stronger and stronger and stronger, and the Monster Shield defense was weakening. Every single fight they were winning on the defense looked slightly worse than the one before until it wasn't good enough.
Not good enough in the end. New Paradigm past the Anubis 101 class with flying colors there. And they're going to now get their chance to bring this series back. There's good old Sphinxy. Look at that. Man, have you ever had enough of a beard to be able to
Can't say I have.
wax it out into such a glorious form?
I'd also possibly say I'd like to not be in that scenario either. Probably be good.
Can't say I've ever had facial hair of that quality. Of course, Pixie, who hasn't been here this week, he's certainly someone who has. Unfortunately, he's being consumed by his mustache. Eventually, it overtook him. He's recovering from that for the moment. I'm sure he'll be back next week.
It is his own entity. And well, he's just the carrier. He's just the vessel that it travels on. However,
is he more mustache than man? That's the real question.
Soon to be. We'll find out. New Paradigm. If you're wondering where the May came from, well, you do want to get Frost and Velvet onto that high ground. It's the only way to get that Orisa Hog composition up there. They'll be playing their own pick composition now. Do have to be considerate, so there is a reason you want to set up here instead of the slightly lower high ground. And obviously that's because this is harder to aggress onto, but it will also open up that opening section. And Monster Shield, if they're smart, can rotate a lot more effectively. There's a lot less opening damage coming out from New Paradigm.
Yeah, it means the Widow gets to sit up here. She's behind the Orisa Shield. It's very hard to dive on her. It also means that anyone who has to drop down to the point to contest it, say the Roadhog, who can take a lot of damage, he's still in range of that Mercy tether from the top level there.
Actually going to be a perfect Bastion change, and I'd like to see if this is going to be real.
Ooh,
I think it is, because Luke is also now going onto the right hand. There's a big compositional swap, and what could happen is Perfect is going to look to set up on the opposite side. Not going to be doing it at the entrance. He's going to be looking for a long rotation. So now Monster Shield going to go the long way around. And when they get to the high ground, look at where Tito is. Look at where Ein is. They want to stop this from happening. And the only way they can do that is by attempting to spam damage. And for once, Monster Shield set up Perfect ready to go as well. They're going to break that defense.
Yeah, look at this. Frost already starting to take some damage. They don't seem to be able to get him down. The Bastion not actually set up in sentry mode at the moment, just doing some recon around the back of the point. They have pushed them off the high horse, though. They no longer have the moral or the physical high ground, but New Paradigm are holding for the moment.
Yeah, well, Luke and Perfect down, and that's the bulk of that damage, the bulk of the defense as well. A couple members from Monster Shield are going to try and exit this fight, maybe collect Merrick on the way out as a consolation. That's not even going to be the case here, and Monster Shield needed a lot more work done. They pushed New Paradigm off, so maybe progress, you could say, for this attack. But you're just progressing New Paradigm from high ground to slightly lower high ground, but they're still there.
They're still above you. They're still the higher in that hierarchy of the two teams at the moment. Well, I mean, it's Monster Shield that has the maps on them, but New Paradigm, they still want to take this out. So a quick dive onto the point here, but Luke is by himself.
That wall has actually given Monster Shield the ability to entirely bypass that initial defense, get on top of Merit, collect that kill. Can the Sire be the turnaround? Their Iron needs to find a lot, or at least find one.
Oh,
doesn't even get the D-Mech. Oh dear, that's a terrible shame. New Paradigm, yep, this should be the push over, or rather the defense over. Monster Shield, a couple of ultimates used there, a couple of ultimates that they needed, and it will be enough.
Yeah, I think the Tide is 600 damage at max. That's pretty much D.Va's whole health pool, so you really need it very close to D.Va to make sure you pop the mech.
The armor blocks
it does 5 damage, right?
So it did 595 damage, which is not enough.
And no follow-up there will mean Mercy can keep the mech up and running. How it heals the biological and the mechanical, I will never know, but that's a secret she'll take to the grave with her. Unless she resurrects herself. She doesn't often do that.
No, she won't, because Moira stole the technology. Put that aside. Lore out of this competitive match, this professional match, I should probably say. Tier 2 Overwatch at its finest. New Paradigm attempting to continue this defense, and they will need to do so for 5 minutes and 6 seconds. As Iron does get the open kill into Luke. Perfect now has to contemplate whether the Blizzard is worth throwing out or whether it's worth saving for another push, because they are now at an ultimate, or rather a player disadvantage. HVK definitely gets D-Mech that time.
Yeah, Velvet, who's been a really fantastic player so far for New Paradigm. We've just seen him just come up trumps quite a few times. This Hog is obviously a very comfortable hero for him, and he's going to continue using it on the defense here. You see Iron set up on the high ground, got a trap unless anyone tries to jump on top of him, and we've got a Blizzard on the attack, which Perfect's still holding on to.
Well, this might be the moment for that Blizzard to finally come out. Didn't quite get a chance to use it last time because too many members went down. And again, he's forced to go into Cryo Freezer far too early, more than he'd like. Crazy though, does going to open up some end with Irons. It's going to be a long-range Riptide going all the way from spawn, looking for some members. Actually struggling to find members, and for a good reason, because a lot of his teammates got those kills first. The Blizzard finally coming out, and I do believe Perfect's had enough. He just wants to throw it out there, see what happens, but likely he'll change heroes.
And they still haven't given up a tick here. You can see that it's just on the cusp of it, but New Paradigm, they know just the timing to pull back and make sure that Monster Shield Korea get nothing for their efforts. The cap diminishes now, and they go back. They reset again. Iron going back to spawn. He switched off to the Tracer to get there quickly, and it looks like he might just go back onto that Junkrat, where he can push out the damage and honestly get a Riptire up pretty damn quickly anyway. Crazy's almost got the Dragon Blade here, just looking for a couple of shurikens with a damage boost at the moment. Mercy might be tethered to him while he does it.
So this Dragon Blade gets Crazy, he needs to find some good damage, because Iron on the opposite side when he was playing the Genji instead was doing a lot better. So Crazy this time getting that one kill onto his counterpart Iron is the beginning of this push. Losing Lee Jae gone is going to be a little bit painful, as Frost is going to be forced to use that Primal Rage, and Monster Shield Korea right now still looking for ultimate, still looking for progression. Like you said, that one tick coming out is going to be the start of that progress, but we need, again, a second tick, then a third, because they're starting to not be able to match that cap time in New Paradigm.
Lee Jae gone, he thinks they can still do this, so he's switched over to the Lucio, and he's trying to make his way back to the point here. Picks coming out from New Paradigm means it's probably unlikely, and the Lucio switch might have been in vain. It at least grabs him a D-Mech onto the Diva here. Monster Shield Korea suddenly turning around. New Paradigm might have tried to chase them a little bit too far out here and given them a way back in.
New Paradigm still have these ults, so they need to be able to utilize defensive ultimates if this starts to get out of hand. And for Monster Shield Korea, a second attempt with this Dragon Blade coming up from Crazy Rain. He's built it up pretty fast, and he was building up pretty damn fast last time as well when he was defending. So that has gone his way, but he needs, again, more kills. I can't stress that enough. So far, he's been getting 1 kill, sometimes 0. Valkyrie now being popped as well. New Paradigm staying very vigilant. Ironed as well, looking for targets. Beppo already finding a merit. That goes in the way of Monster Shield Korea. Where's been Velvet's Transcendence? We still haven't seen that one yet. Monster Shield now coming down. Rather, Meteor Strike from New Paradigm. Going to drop down a few members. Doesn't find anybody. Nothing worth noting.
No, that Meteor falls into an empty field, and only the astrologers
that one doesn't.
It. Tito, however, he's found 2.
Oh,
quickly. Boy. Equal there by Ash VK though, and Monster Shield Korea, they are on the point, but they still only have the 1 tick, and it looks like they're actually falling back right now. Merit with the extra armor is going to push them all the way out of there.
It looks pretty good. Both Divas got themselves a double kill with the self-destruct, but only the defensive one can really make it count, because for New Paradigm, again, that respawn advantage is just really coming into effect now. 8 seconds before the time is equalized, and Monster Shield will have a worse time on the clock. That's even if they can finish the match.
So, Lee Jae gone. He switched over to the Lucio. He's stuck on it. He's got a sound barrier now. They're kind of walking around him almost a little bit, Monster Shield Korea, because now they're going into the GOATS comp. Obviously, as we talked about before, this is a composition that you can get a lot of value out very, very quickly. So, with 1 minute left, this is the perfect time to see if they can make something happen with it and beat Ironed on this Doomfist.
It's got to be all 6 with that sound barrier, and it's also going to be a Bionate coming up from Velvet. Does catch a few members, but no members going down on either side just yet. Tito nearing that self-destruct. He got a double kill last time. How many is it going to be this time? Iron goes down before the Meteor Strike is available. Frost goes down mid-primal range. Frothy's trying to do his best with Valkyrie, but his best is not enough. Here comes that offense. 20 seconds to go, and there's still so many kills that Monster Shield are able to get. Iron finally maybe will get a Meteor Strike, but I think it's too late.
Yeah, he might. He's going to get so many kills with it. He'd basically have to see them
That's all. A 0.
They all run out of the way, and a Graviton Surge from Perfect. Well, he barely needs it, really. They're up to about 90% now. With a Riptire coming through, it's more like a rip for New Paradigm there.
If you see the timer there as well, so importantly and crucially, it's being pushed up to 1 minute because Monster Shield only capped out in the overtime. They were about half a second, maybe 1 second off from completing it on time. So as little as some of those final few moments of attempts to defend from New Paradigm really mattered, at the end of the day, because they pushed into overtime, they now have the position to roughly, well, they sort of force us into a position where it's still going to be quite difficult for Monster Shield. I was kind of expecting that 1 tick scenario to come up to play, but it's not going to be the case. It's 1 minute versus 2-on-1.
All right, so we're seeing the High Horse come out again from New Paradigm, and this is tough. This is a tough thing to deal with in 1 minute. We saw last time, you know, there was switches onto Bastion. They had to rotate all the way up around behind just to try and get an advantage over this composition. And with 1 minute, you can't really do that. There's just not enough time. You have to execute it flawlessly if you want to do that. A single pick from Merit could destroy all your plans.
Well, for Monster Shield Korea, they can afford to maybe lose 1 fight quickly. Get 1 reset, then force the final fight into the overtime. But that's about it. No other room for error after that. They get 1 mistake allowed and no others.
There are no impurities here. It is a pure dive composition coming out from Monster Shield. It will rely 100% on their execution and their ability to get past Merit and Iron.
Luke is already super low. He's possibly out of the fight right now. It's going to take far too long to heal him back into the action. While that's happening, Ash VK, the solo tank that still remains, does get demeched. And finally, Luke may be back into fighting condition. That's all still happening while the time is ticking down. Less than 30 seconds remaining, and Monster Shield have not made progress.
So as you said, they've got time to lose 1 fight quickly. That's the opportunity here. They've seen 1 go down, and they've got another very slim chance here. 15 seconds left. They'll get another 30 if they cap this first point out.
By the way, Ash VK has not remeched it. Crazy now super low. So HVK needs his mech. We need to see these members together. So far, someone has always been locked down.
There we go.
And now the 6 members are ready to go. But is it too late? Luke fails his jump, gets halted out of there. For New Paradigm, they're still in position to defend, but now they have to get up to the point. One tick has gone the way of Monster Shield Korea. And they need a lot more ticks. They need all 3 if they can help it. Beppo onto Velvet is a good start. The Infrasight not going to do a lot of damage. Going to give Merit some opportunity, but he needs to get kills on opportunities. And right now, New Paradigm are running out of set opportunities. Velvet goes down. Merit soon to follow. Surely, Eind is out of there. Teto is out of there. And now Monster Shield. Wow. During the overtime, just like on that B offense previously, they get the cap.
Yeah, just hiding underneath the eaves there to make sure that they took the least damage possible from New Paradigm, who have now made a couple of switches in order to try and hold this second point. They've only got 15 seconds and 1 chance to do it. Oh, great pulse bomb there will take out Merit, and this is a fantastic start from Monster Shield, who even have a sound barrier to sustain here.
Perfect is doing it for his team right now. The stick onto Merit, the pulse bomb, the follow-up kill into Velvet, chunking down Frost, who goes down right now. 1 res available for New Paradigm, but that's going to be the only one they can afford. Monster Shield, they solve the Primal, they solve the sound barrier, they're going to use both. They're going to get some more kills. Merit down, Eind down, 4 members until Monster Shield can cap out. Is this even possible? Can Monster Shield really cap both points on 1 minute and 30 seconds? They started in overtime, they will end in overtime, and there's only a few respawning members. They're all about to pop out. There's just barely anyone even alive right now for New Paradigm, and they will try their darndest. They will try their hardest. They will try for anything that they can get right now, but I'm not too sure it's going to be enough. I'm not too sure New Paradigm have what it takes to stop this offense, and Monster Shield will complete the map on no time remaining.
They do push through there. However, if they can do it in 1 minute, what can New Paradigm do in 2? That was quite the offense there we saw from Monster Shield Korea. Velvet, for some reason, continues to pick this Ana on second point Anubis, and that's the second time where really you just need a full stall composition. You need everybody to be able to contribute to that stall, and the Ana can't do that. As soon as she gets on the point, she's useless. Doesn't matter how many bio grenades or sleep darts you hit, AVRL.
That being said, though, she does have that clutch factor. If you are going to pick a support, which you probably still do because you want to be able to have the utility for your team of the support picks, you got to say the utility coming out, the playmaking clutch capability. Anna's got the kit, man. You can't underestimate the Bionade or the sleep dart. 1 sleep dart.
This isn't solo queue though. You're on a team here. You're not
exactly
the one
why it's
who can.
important.
You've got all these other people who can contribute so much more to the stall, and a Moira, a Lucio. These are the guys who can stall it out and make that happen.
Here's the problem though. A stall doesn't necessarily win you the fight. A stall extends the fight so that you can buy more time, but you still need to win, and the Ana can make the clutch plays potentially get you that win. Again, a sleep dart can get you a kill. A Bionade prevents the healing on the opposite side that can get you more kills. That being said though, it is all into the past. New Paradigm didn't work out for them. They did try. Now they will have to try even harder on this offense.
They're going to have to try mighty hard to get through this in 2 minutes. A full 2 points they require to even stay in the series. Their first offense was good, but Monster Shield have said not good enough. 1 healer here for Monster Shield. Korea on their defense. If they can find Lee Jae gone, New Paradigm will have a new lease on life.
Let's also be clear that New Paradigm have 1 minute and 1 second more, and that 1 minute, 1 second more is about to run out because they haven't quite touched that point yet. They did kill Lee Jae Gunn, and we've seen this earlier. When you lose the Mercy as a defending team running a solo healer, that is probably the end of your defense. That is probably lights out unless Monster Shield can make some serious clutch plays right now.
Yeah, unless you're Prophet and Birdring, no spoilers. You can do some serious work. It is New Paradigm though.
Crazy's kind of pulling that right now.
Doing an okay job of defending here, but as you say, Crazy is starting to bring this back. It's Tito on the point here. Sorry, trying to attack New Paradigm, but he's going to pull back, getting forced off after too much damage coming out of this Junkrat, who's 3/4 of the way to that Riptile.
Here's part of that problem. New Paradigm didn't quite take advantage of Lee Jae Gunn going down. He actually managed to come back to the team, even get a res onto Luke, and now the defense continues. It's like nothing changed. Only 1 tick went through. New Paradigm That's something, but Monster Shield Korea will take it. It's a big win for them. And currently Riptide available. This could do big damage. Gets Iron. It's big enough, you'll probably say. 10 seconds remaining. New Paradigm have to use everything here. Primal Rage use. Velvet with the Transcendence surely to follow. But they need to get on the point.
Yeah, well, they are on the point at the moment with the Transcendence. New Paradigm, that will keep them on there for a little while. They have to go off because of the self-destruct, but now Tito is back in there with his mech. The Supercharger goes down. Monster Shield Korea no longer doing that extended amount of damage. Iron has the Dragon Blade ready to go, and he will jump into the sky and get hooked straight out of it by Beepo. That's so frustrating.
And that's going to be all the picks they need. New Paradigm do not have enough members remaining. That's going to be it. Merit, the last one from the spawn, doesn't even get a chance. Monster Shield Korea complete the defense of 8-point Anubis and the time back in. They had a crazy offense finishing the entire map twice. The second time in time bank on basically nothing. 1 minute and 30. 1 minute from the original time bank, 30 seconds of the additional. And that was enough for them to fully cap out. And they didn't even need to do that eventually because there was not even a cap coming through on the 8-point for New Paradigm. So a 3-0 victory. And I gotta say, by the end of Anubis, specifically during the time bank, a commanding victory on Anubis.
Running on fumes, running on hopes and dreams they were. And they managed to get that second cap out. Monster Shield Korea deserved that third map win on Temple of Anubis. That means they also deserve the series win, of course. A simple 3-0 will make sure of that, and now they've got that one extra chance to buff the opportunity to get that #1 spot. Give themselves the stats, the +1.
Yeah, well, they've got the 3 maps there, right? So they just have to click that one more map to make sure it's a +4 instead of a New Paradigm. Similar to the story that we have for Xavier and Hong Kong Attitude, it's time now to see if they can get one on the board back themselves because they have been close. Look, there have been a couple maps in there. We could have said that Anubis prior to the time bank scenario, and again, it was a 1:01 time versus a 0-second time bank, or rather a 0-second cap out, and still, Monster Shield made that 0 seconds work, but we're going to go to Rialto again, make it 3 out of 3.
Yeah, there's been no teams that haven't shown up tonight. Every single team winning, losing doesn't matter. They've really shown that they have, that they should be here, that they should be in Contenders because that's what they are.
They're Contenders. That's all I got to say to that. And again, so 3 out of 3 for Rialto this evening, 3 out of 3 for Temple of Anubis. We've got some favorite maps in this pool, and we've seen some crazy stuff. We've seen some really exciting stuff on Rialto, and there's a bit of a memory. We just saw CAG complete that Rialto defense and that Rialto offense against Incipients, and that was a treat. That was a big show, and they needed that victory. They needed that map to win the series. Monster Shield technically aren't in the same situation as CAG, but there's opportunity now where we start to see the team that is usually ahead, the team that is favored to win really big on Rialto. We did see that Hong Kong Attitude match versus Xavier as well. Hong Kong Attitude were definitely a league above on Rialto.
So there's something in Rialto here that's exacerbating the differences between these teams. We see the double snipers come out so often, obviously, in this particular meta. One of the reasons why these teams are at the top of the tables is often because they have, the better snipers, and maybe that's being one of the biggest differences coming out here on Rialto. Ominous. An ominous end.
And Omnix.
To that music, and that could be an ominous end to New Paradigm's run tonight as they lose the 3 maps and they are on the precipice of finding themselves a donut here.
Yeah, well, they would be on 1 and 3, and I mean, for New Paradigm, They only have one match after that, it's against Marchia, and Marchia at the top of the table with talent right now. They'd have to hope for EXL to drop to 2-3 and themselves to go to 2-3. So again, technically not over, but also technically, man, it would be so difficult.
And even at that point, they'd be 3 down on map. No, actually, maybe 1 after. Oh yeah, no, 3 down on map advantage at that point, which would be an extremely ugly situation. They'd probably have to 4-0 the last match. It's extremely tough, and New Paradigm here. That's what they're up against.
Well, that's in the future, and this is right now. And right now, New Paradigm have the opportunity to get 1 map back, and that 1 map back in that potential tiebreaker scenario next week could be the make or break, which is why this map is still important for both teams, I might add. And Perfect going to open things up on this Rialto defense. Going to open things up really big.
Open things up in such an aggressive fashion. He doesn't care. Look at this. He's right in their faces. He knows he's got the backup of his team. Look how far the Orisa is pushed up here. Usually you wouldn't see them go past that first choke point, past the cut. Inev doesn't care. He is so confident in his team's ability to win these fights. For Perfect to get the opening picks, look at that, forced back into the spawn.
They already had a 6v4 advantage, and they also had Velvet way out of position, so the confidence levels, I'd say, pretty high there. The rest of Monster Shield Korea know that they can have that momentum, and right now they do have to consider this long rotation. Actually, this is dangerous. New Paradigm may have found the angles they're looking for, because for Monster Shield Korea, they're kind of slow. They kind of have not been, they have not kept up with this rotation. That problem still is for New Paradigm is they have to push towards the cart, which is still much closer to Monster Shield.
So he knows that the Orisa's just used the shield, so that's the time Perfect uses to try and pounce. Unfortunately, he can't hit 2 headshots in a row. So the Orisa and the Fortify manage to stay alive. Inev with a good little halt there gets Merit off the ground. Also playing with the cooldowns there, no grapple to help him.
Right now, order has been restored. Both teams back to their starting positions. It's Monster Shield on the courtyard section, New Paradigm in the spawn section. Pulse Bomb, nice stick coming out from Hojin Ho there. The clutch play that we know him for is going to force also to take a breather from Beppo, which actually gives him the whole hog as well. Let's see what this Dragon Strike does. Not a lot for the time being. Beppo might be caught out again if he's not careful. Actually commits a whole hog just for Hojin Ho. Now looking to try and convert that onto a further kill. Froppy, if he can help it. I think he's unkillable. He's just been staying alive.
Now he's hiding from the Widow. He's scared of Merit. He actually dodges the Venom Mine, and he probably didn't expect him that close because he thought he would have triggered or at least destroyed the Venom Mine had he seen it. Merit does just get out in time, avoids falling into the river with that grapple there. The Holt almost making mincemeat of him. Merit with the, he's got the Impresight, so.
We've spent a long time here, nearly 3 minutes on the first corner. I say choke, but realistically, the first corner, because the card is barely past that first section. And for Monster Shield, they still have ults to play with. They lose Perfect, which is a bit of an issue, but they should have the ults to maintain.
Less of a choke, more of a killing field. That's what it seemed like so far. Perfect has just had a wide swathe of ground in front of him in which to deal damage and make New Paradigm hate their life here on Rialto.
Oh, unbelievable. Hojin Ho actually just finds that kill into the backside. Crazy kind of walked into the pulse bomb almost. That's actually given up some space, and enough space that Hojin Ho and Merit find additional picks, but it's the tanks of Monster Shield Korea that will maintain control. It's crazy that State, or rather that got raised back into play, that actually punishes Hojin Ho finally. But Hojin Ho has been a menace for this attack, and Monster Shield Korea pushed all the way back because they're going to have to find a final stand in this last choke.
They're going to have to dodge a Dragon Strike with 20 seconds left. Velvet can help them. It's not like they're going to be sucked into a Graviton Surge, but they might have a halt to deal with the Widow shots flying out here, flying into some of those Orisa shields, and now it's the last stand.
There's not a lot of time, 3 seconds now just about remaining. Iron looking for the flank, might get a a Dragon Blade. Close to Dragon Strike, but not quite the same here. 85% Frost even going to go onto the Primal, rather the Winston change. Full dive for New Paradigm. Full opportunities here with that Dragon Blade. The Pulse Bomb as well, 2 kills. Perfect and Beppo are down. And the final few members are now trying to hold on. Beppo doesn't even get a chance to use the whole hog, and may not get a chance because you might just see a full compositional swap from Monster Shield now.
No, they targeted him first, actually, and the whole hog was definitely something I was looking at in that situation, saying, well, that's the opportunity to push them out, to push them away from the Orisa Shield, to put them into the lines of the snipers there on the defense, but Monster Shield Korea can't find that opening, and as you say, we do see a switch off. The Roadhog has now become the Omnic Monk as Beppo looks to give a little bit more healing to his team. He's Ironed now, no longer on the Genji though, he's on the Brigitte. Crazy as well, Swap.
Right, well, it's got to be mostly the same on both ends there. The only difference here, Frost on the Rhine and Ev on the Winston. And for New Paradigm, does get that push to the next choke point, that next archway. When Monster Shield look to finalize this defense, they still have the Valve to play with. That's more than what New Paradigm have. They do need to make this effective. They do need to start this fight reasonably early and charge these ultimates, because there's still a reasonable amount of distance and some time remaining now for New Paradigm.
Okay, Beppo loses out the trade there with Ho Jun-ho. Appears out of nowhere. That's the capability that the Tracer has with a blink, and Lee get Jay gone there. He's going to pop the Valkyrie. We do see this fight getting closer to the second point here. No stopping the card at the moment. There's more than 3 members on it. It's going full speed ahead.
Full ultimates now coming up from New Paradigm pretty soon. As they continue to pick up these kills, Earthshadow ready to wait. Self-destruct needs to find more than just 1 kill, but at least Velvet drops that Transcendence. He's not going to have it to use because he's dead. And now the D-Mech as well coming through onto Ash VK. You'd expect New Paradigm after these picks to be able to continue pushing on through. Monster Shield, the best they can do is delay, and delay may not be good enough. That's going to be... Oh, wow! Oh, that was insane. Charge was denied because of Shield Bash coming through for Crazy, and maybe now, just maybe, Monster Shield with that kind of with that kind of amazing play, does find opening kills, does get mirrored down, and New Paradigm. That was not a fight you expected them to lose.
No, Crazy indeed. New Paradigm pushed back. 15 seconds left. If Perfect can find a couple of kills here, he gets one onto the Zenyatta. The Mercy's down as well. This means New Paradigm have almost no healing getting back onto the cart, and they cannot sustain the Tracer. The recall gets bashed out of her. They can't do it. None of them make it back, and at the cart's final resting spot, not even up to the second point, AVRL. Do you think New Paradigm can defend this?
If Ho Jun-ho couldn't clutch it, no one could for that team. Is the unfortunate truth that may be coming out right now. And to be quite fair, New Paradigm were somewhat fortunate to even make it past at A point. There were certainly some moments there where you expected Monster Shield to fully hold A, and for New Paradigm to kind of end their pushing campaign, their offense campaign, very early on. But for Monster Shield, didn't quite manage that hold, but did recover later on through B. But now, that objective is set, the precedent is set. Monster Shield know what they need to do. If they can get a quick push through that A point, they should be able to camp. I would have to say, if Monster Shield can complete the A attack, they will 100% complete the map. And the map here is just going to be as far as most of the way through B. New Paradigm, I do not expect to be able to get their full hold on B, if they do not get a full hold on A.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be a quick cap. Even a slow cap would allow Monster Shield that extra 2 minutes and 30 seconds, which should be easily enough to get the card to its final resting place. Haven't seen any Pharahs yet on Rialto this time between New Paradigm and Monster Shield Korea. A little bit different to the other opportunities we've had to see this map play out today and the rest of this weekend. Crazy and Perfect. Oh, look, they're the attacking team. Let's not bother with them just for the moment. The interesting thing here is Ho Jun-ho on the Tracer. So obviously Ironed is it's a hybrid pick, right? We call the Brigitte. It's got a little bit of tankiness to it, but they're really relying so heavily on Frost here and Ho Jun-ho to be a pest in the backline.
They need to bring out anything they can. It's a difficult place for New Paradigm to be in. They know the stakes. And if there's going to be any clutch plays coming up, it's got to come from Ho Jun-ho. He's been the one. He's been the one the entire time that has been keeping New Paradigm mostly competitive in this series. And he's going to have to do that and more right now if he wants this map victory for his team. And ideally, he's looking for one of the supports. He's going to go hunting for it, reveals his positioning. And now, with some nice support coming up from Merit, we'll pick up Crazy, or rather Merit will get the kill. Beppo as well going down to Merit. So, New Paradigm, this opening section has so far been successful.
Yeah, nice little sandwich they set up there. So you saw Ho Junho right at the start. He was on the right-hand side so that as you push around this corner, he's actually doing a lot of damage from behind, and the damage coming both ways. The Orisa shield is not omnidirectional. You can't swing it around just at any point. Now, to address that problem, they're bringing out the Reinhardt. Does have the movable shield.
It's not even just the Reinhardt, it's mostly Goats coupled with an Ana instead of the Moira, and they're looking for the anti-heal, they're looking for the sleep, they're looking for any progress they can get, and the Kana's already moving into the courtyard. 2 members gone down, about to be 3 if Merit's not too careful right now. Frost actually going to collect that number 3, which means Merit still looking to get healed, not going to get healed, and now this should be the cap done and dusted, and we haven't even gone to the overtime. There is still so much time remaining, and New Paradigm may not be able to get back in time to even defend.
Man, this is going to give Monster Shield Korea about 5 minutes to get it about half a point, and if that's achievable, if it's not achievable, I don't know what it is. Oh, he didn't fall into the river though. I was really hoping he'd manage to get him at the right time. Either way, it was still a 6 sleep dart from Beppo. If only Velvet had have hit some of those on Temple of Anubis. Monster Shield Korea so close to
that hit again!
Point. He, wow, just gets the Tracer right in front and finishes them off with the bio
Beppo
grenade.
is going nuts right now. 2 sleep darts out of 2 sleep darts. Popping the Pharaoh out of the sky as well. Iron's got nothing to do right now. Merit goes off the map just to try and reset, and that is a cap not quite 5 minutes, but 4 minutes and 20 seconds. And like you said, only partway through B, not quite halfway. It's most of the way through B they got to get, but so much time to do it with, and they have the momentum. New Paradigm, swapping heroes, swapping comps. Final opportunity perhaps to defend this. Monster Shield do not look like they will be stopped.
Okay, we've got a nano boost coming out. If Perfect can build up a bit of energy here on this Xayah with the grab, it'd be a great idea to chuck that nano boost onto him. Be dealing maximum damage. No, it's not Boostio! Lead gauge gone. We've seen him do a lot of damage in the past. Maybe he can do some more with this Boostio.
I gotta say, it's not all that bad for a lot of different picks. For a lot of different picks and a lot of different players, you might say, oh, that's pretty nasty. But on Lee Jae-gon, I think he'll take it. I think you'll take it. I think this is a pretty good nano boost, to be quite fair with you. No one expects it. And Lee Jae-gon gets a kill anyway. He's bloodthirsty. He wants those kills. Monster Shield wants the victory. New Paradigm wants to defend, but it's not about what New Paradigm wants right now, because Monster Shield are in the driver's seat. They're about to finish this one. Iron goes down. The Earth Shatter needs to be used by Frost. It's their only opportunity, the final chance for New Paradigm. It doesn't do enough. Monster Shield are going to do it. 4-0. Rialto will be theirs. The match will be theirs.
4-0 here from Monster Shield Korea. That was a storming finish from them. They pull it out, they put New Paradigm away, and honestly, that's looking pretty rough for New Paradigm to even make the playoffs now. You'd say they're in a very ugly position.
Certainly not attractive. Monster Shield, though, looking pretty good. Monster Shield looking in a very good position now, 3-1 themselves. Really looking to compete, but no matter what result we were going to get tonight, whether New Paradigm wins or whether Monster Shield wins, Group A is still a bit of a mess. Group A is still up in the air. The only thing that is more certain right now is we're more certain that New Paradigm will probably not make it out of relegation zone.
Yeah.
The thing that is uncertain still is when we look at the top of the table, there are still 3 teams sitting at 3-1, which means next week, look, it's the final week, and there must be winners, there must be losers.
And EXL, you know, they dropped a map. They got below this, you know, they've got 2 losses now, I think it is, and they have got Mega Esports next week. So one of the easier teams goes to them. Monster Shield, however, they're up against Talon. So it's great that they got this 4-0, because next week they might not be getting so many maps.
Well, it's a decider because, you know, typically we can sort of see here between
matches up against New Paradigm
and Talon, one of those 2 teams should take the lead. Let's actually take a look at the updated standings, because we have been talking about this. So Monster Shield currently lead 3 wins, 1 loss with a map differential of 13. They're leading the stage by 3. Talon and Machi both at 3-1 and 10. They are 3 maps behind both of them of Monster Shield Korea. EXL sitting at 2-2 and 6. New Paradigm, after taking that loss, at 1-3 with a map differential of 5. Or 5 maps 1 rather. Mega at 0-4 and 2 maps 1.
Okay, then looking in here at Group B with the updated standings after tonight. CAG sitting pretty on the top, 4-0, 12 map win advantage there. That's quite big from them. Hong Kong and Blank sitting below that, actually. Now with this loss tonight, Xavier Esports have actually slipped under Blank. So that's great for them. And Nova Esports and Incipient, unfortunately, their run is over.